Ink Ribbon.
Since she's the most popular character in the entire Resident Evil franchise, and because you have been begging in the comments for years now, I am finally going to do a facts video on one of the most duplicated characters in the series. So sit back and cuddle up with all of your clones as we dive into the lore. Just as a disclaimer, some of the information comes from the novelizations of the films and some comes from the films themselves, but regardless, it's all technically canon and official, so I'm just throwing that out there. And with all that, from tickling tasers to taking over Las Vegas, here are 25 facts about Alice. Alice grew up in Columbus, Ohio, and began learning martial arts when she was a teenager. During this training, her sensei taught her the importance of entering a trance-like state during times of extreme conflict, which helps her remain calm instead of panicking. In the 90s, Alice was an employee for the US Treasury Department. The scar that Alice has at the beginning of the first film is never explained in the movie, but we learn in the novelization that while living in Washington, D.C., she was attacked by a mugger, and even though she was able to fight him off, he managed to cut her left shoulder with a switchblade and left a pretty big scar, making recovery difficult since she was left-handed. The reason Alice ended up working for Umbrella was actually because she got rejected for a position with the Secret Service due to sexism, and then she accepted a job offer for Umbrella in 1997 and started training with Umbrella's security division to begin her new job in Raccoon City. The first film has an unused alternate ending where Alice walks into an Umbrella facility and fires a special grenade launcher at security guards. The novel for the second film helps explain a few gaps about Alice's mutation and appearance, like how her hair suddenly grows back and all the cuts from broken glass on her feet were now healed. The mansion where the first film begins is called Looking Glass Mansion and is the port of entry to the Hive. Alice was placed there along with Spence to protect it under the guise of being a married couple. In real life, the mansion is called Schloss Lindstedt and is located in Potsdam, Germany, and was used as barracks in World War II. The mansion also made Alice restless since she and Spence mostly sat around doing nothing for months on end. In order to keep her happy, Umbrella did various things, including making sure the library in the mansion was stocked with her favorite books to keep her entertained. At the end of the second film, when Alice wakes up and takes out all the scientists, a security guard tries to tase her, but she is unaffected. In the novel, we find out that not only did this not hurt her, it actually tickled. On top of this, she describes her thoughts as she discovers her abilities, like being able to kill a guard who was watching her through a camera by simply wishing he would stop talking. In Afterlife, we see her use a shotgun loaded with custom coin rounds, possibly with quarters. This is actually a real thing that can be done and was tested with pennies about 3 years ago. Apocalypse is the only time Alice is depicted smoking. Milla Jovovich was trying to quit smoking after the first film and successfully quit in 2007. During her famous dog kick scene, if you pause as she's in midair, you can see the very obvious harness under her jacket. In Afterlife, the sequence where Alice clones storm the Umbrella headquarters, if you pay attention to their feet, you'll notice a continuity error where their shoes go from heels to flats constantly. Milla Jovovich got in trouble for bludgeoning her fellow actor with a hard plastic axe. If the scene where Alice kills Spence wasn't cut off, you'd see that she actually hit him with it.
I'm missing you already.
Producer Jeremy Bolt also experienced a black eye in the ending scene where they are taking Matt away. This made him need to leave the set for the rest of the day. The actress that was originally slated to play Alice was actually Sarah Michelle Gellar, but the amount of nudity and violence led to her being recast. The Alice clone we see at the beginning of Extinction is Clone 87. When the giant pile of Alice clones are shown, there's supposedly 86 dead clones in the pile, but I was only able to count 52 of them, so if you want a fun challenge, you can go and count them and tell me if I'm wrong. We see Clone 88 accidentally woken up during the fight with Dr. Isaacs, and she is unable to breathe at first, which Alice just assumes she's dead. In reality, this is just the same thing that happens in the lungs of a newborn baby, where the lungs are filled with fluid and deflated until a baby takes its first breath. The super undead that are introduced in the third film are made using a serum containing blood from the Alice clones. In Afterlife, a small army of Alice clones attack the Umbrella base located in Tokyo, and these are unique in that they're the only Alice clones shown to have the same psychic abilities as Alice, specifically telekinesis. In Retribution, we get to see yet another subset of Alice clones. This time they are just simply humans and don't possess any powers or abilities, presumably to test the human side of Alice in different scenarios, as demonstrated by her as a housewife. At the premiere of Extinction, which was held in Las Vegas, they had an army of women dress up as Alice clones to help promote the film. In the first film, Alice's name is never actually spoken. On top of this, throughout the franchise, the only time we learn that her last name is Abernathy is in the novel. Resident Evil video games have a completely different universe and storyline, so Alice doesn't exist within the video games in any way, shape, or form. Alice is not an original human. She is actually the first successful clone of Alicia Marcus, who we learn is James Marcus's daughter and the co-founder of the Umbrella Corporation. Alice was born with a genetic condition called progeria, which causes many symptoms including rapid aging and early death, with people living about an average of 15 years. James Marcus struggled to find a cure for her and ended up inventing the T-virus, which cured her, among other things. Whatever your feelings about the film franchise are, I hope we can all be civil in the comments section, but I already know how the internet works, so instead I'll just say, Happy April 1st! Be sure to tell that like button that your name is Alice, and that you remember everything. And for more Resident Evil content, be sure to check out the literal hundreds of other videos I have on my channel, and I'm sure something there will tickle your pickle. Be sure to drink some water, and until next time, I'm Kai Morgan, and as always, thanks for watching Inkribbon. And a very special thank you to all of my Patreon supporters and YouTube members. Your extra support means the world to me and helps me keep making content for you guys.